product of two functions, f and g, is defined as f times g of x is equal to f of x times g of x. So just like addition and subtraction, when we are multiplying two functions, it is the same as taking the first function and multiplying it times the second function. Now, when we are multiplying functions, you want to remember the following. Add the exponents together when multiplying two terms with the same variable. So let's say we had 2x times 3x squared. For addition and subtraction, the x's would need to have the same exponent, but for multiplying that is not the case. So here, this x has an exponent of 1, and in this term, this x has an exponent of 2. So when we multiply them, we add together the exponents for the x, which would be 1 plus 2 would give us 3. We multiply the coefficients the way we normally would. 2 times 3 gives us 6. So we see 2x times 3x squared is 6x cubed. Another example, if we had negative 4x to the third times 5x to the fifth, we multiply the coefficients. Negative 4 times 5 gives us negative 20. And x to the third times x to the fifth is equal to x to the 3 plus 5, which would be 8. So when we're multiplying functions, remember you multiply the coefficients. And when you're multiplying like terms, you add the exponents together. Let's walk through an example together. Given f of x is equal to 2x minus 1, and g of x is equal to negative x squared plus x. Question number 1, f times g of x is equal to what? And question number 2, f times g of negative 5 is equal to what? So let's walk through multiplying functions using expressions, and then we'll take a look at multiplying functions using numbers. So first, we want to write the expression for each function. So we want to write out the f function and we want to write out the g function, which would be 2x minus 1 times negative x squared plus x. Since we're multiplying, we keep both these expressions in a set of parentheses. And step 2, multiply each term in the first function times each term in the second function. This is the FOIL method. So we'll do 2x times negative x squared will give us negative 2x to the third. The exponent 1 plus the exponent 2 would give us 3. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. And now we multiply this term times the second term in the second function, which gives us 2x times x, which is 2x squared. And now, since we've multiplied both terms in the second function by this term, we now want to multiply the second term in the first function times both terms in the second function, giving us negative 1 times negative x squared, which would be positive x squared. And then negative 1 times x gives us negative x. So we get negative 2x cubed plus 2x squared plus x squared minus x. And now the third step is to combine the like terms, 2x squared plus x squared, which would give us 3x squared. So the final answer is f times g of x is equal to negative 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus x. So that is how we go about multiplying functions using expressions. Let's now walk through an example using numbers for x. Step 1, write the expression for each function. So we write out the f function, 2x minus 1, inside a pair of parentheses. And we write out negative x squared plus x, the g function, inside a pair of parentheses. And now we want to replace each x with negative 5. So that'll give us 2 times negative 5 minus 1 times negative 5 squared minus 5. And now that we've replaced each x with negative 5, we can evaluate this expression. So we get 2 times negative 5, which is negative 10 minus 1, times negative 5 squared is 25. So that would give us negative 25 minus 5. Negative 10 minus 1 is negative 11, times negative 25 minus 5, which is negative 30. And negative 11 times negative 30 is equal to positive 330. So f times g of negative 5 is equal to 330. And that is how you would go about multiplying fractions using expressions and numbers. Let's now have you try a few practice questions. If f of x is equal to negative 3x plus 2, and g of x is equal to x squared minus x, and h of x is equal to 4x. Question number 1, what is f times g of x equal to? Question number 2, what is f times h of x equal to? Question number 3, what is f times g of 6 equal to? And question number 4, what is g times h of negative 2 equal to? Pause the video, answer these questions, and then press play when you are ready to begin. Question number 1, step 1, write the expression for each function. So we'll write out the f function, negative 3x plus 2, and we'll multiply that times the g function, which is x squared minus x. And now step 2, multiply each term in the first function times each term in the second function, aka use the FOIL method to expand this expression. When we do so, we get negative 3x times x squared, which is negative 3x cubed. And negative 3x times negative x is positive 3x squared. And now we move to the second term in the first function. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. And then 2 times negative x is negative 2x. And now, step 3, we want to combine the like terms, positive 3x squared and positive 2x squared, to give us positive 5x squared. So the final answer to question number 1 is f times g of x is equal to negative 3x cubed plus 5x squared minus 2x. Let's now have a look at question number 2. We were asked to evaluate f times h of x. So that'll be f of x times h of x. So we want to write the expression for the f function and the h function inside a pair of parentheses. And now step 2, multiply each term in the first function times each term in the second function. So that would give us negative 3x times 4x, which is negative 12x squared. And then we multiply 2 times 4x to give us 8x. So the final answer to question number 2 is f times h of x is equal to negative 12x squared plus 8x. So that is the answer to question number 2. Let's now have a look at question number 3. We're asked to find f times g of 6. So step 1, write the expression for each function, both f and g, and we'll put them inside a pair of parentheses. And now step 2, replace each x with 6. So when we do so, we get negative 3 times 6 plus 2 times 6 squared minus 6. And now we can evaluate the expression, which would be negative 3 times 6, which is negative 18, plus 2 times 6 squared, which is 36, minus 6. Negative 18 plus 2 is negative 16, times 36 minus 6, which is 30. And negative 16 times 30 is equal to negative 640. So the answer to question number 3 is f times g of 6 is equal to negative 640. Let's now have a look at question number 4. We were asked to evaluate g times h of negative 2. So we want to write out the g function and the h function inside a pair of parentheses. And now step 2, replace each x with -2. So when we do so, we get -2 squared, which is 4, minus -2 is +2, times 4 times -2, which is -8. 4 plus 2 is equal to 6, and 6 times -8 is -48. So we see question number 4, g times h of -2 is equal to -48.